Hey, what's up everyone? It's Pink Crush 808 and I am back, okay? Yes, I look a bit different. It's because I just came back from working out and from doing some small house shopping. But as pooped as I am, I decided to come on and say hello to you all because I usually come on Sundays, but it just didn't happen today, this week because I was busy. But here I am on a Monday, and most often my weekends are not busy because I try to stay home because I love my rest time. But this weekend I had to do things on days that I usually rest, which I love. I love my rest days. I love my Shabbat days. I love Saturdays because I get to relax the whole day. And I realized how important that rest day is. When I was younger, I'd go like a damn Energizer bunny and I'm doing 301 things and I'm able to keep up with everything that I'm doing and without burnout. I could do that and keep going and keep going and keep going. But I also remember that there were some days that I would rest the whole day. And then when I got married, that stopped because for some strange reason he would not let me sleep. Like, he would not let me rest. Like, in the night he would fucking wake me up and he'd be talking to me and I'd be like, what the fuck, bro? Do you not fucking go to sleep? Please go to sleep. But and then of course my military my schedule got kind of altered. I can't have more than 6 hours of sleep. On the 6 hour I'll automatically wake up, or before the 6 hour I'll automatically wake up. I can't sleep more than 6 hours. My body will automatically wake up, and little things I will get up. So yeah, on my rest days, my Shabbat days, I cherish my Shabbat days. I love my Shabbat days and I love resting. But this week wasn't the case. This week I had to actually do something. So I had to watch a theater piece. It was a play, a theater, and thing about it was that same theater piece that I watched this past week. That was the last day, so I didn't have any other option. That was the only day, so I had to, because it's a huge part of my grade and it's like right down the road. And I thought, okay, well, all right, just go there, come home. And I realized how important, resting your body in Shabbat is, and it was like that whole day, I felt like I was being punished, honestly. I felt like I was being punished. Like, while I was walking, my shoes, it blistered the back of my heels, and my heels were all fucked up. Like, my heels right now are all fucked up. My whole fucking feet, even down to my toes, it got blistered. And I wore these shoes before for some strange reason. Like, my feet were just all jacked up. I had to ruin the shoes so that my feet would feel comfortable, and I was walking around with band-aids and shit on the back of my heel. But it was the play itself. Now, the people who were acting in the play, they were excellent. Like, you couldn't get any more talented than these people. They were so talented. It was great. And I had some classmates in there too. There was this one classmate, oh my god, she She played the role of Goldilocks, and she was just amazing. Like, she is so talented. She was able to alter her voice to make it fit the character, but that's not how she speaks. She talks in real life. And her voice, her singing voice, she sang in the character, and she blew me away because that's not her voice. Matter of fact, her voice is much stronger than that. Her voice is very beautiful. But she was able to nail the part, and I was like, wow, Goldilocks is awesome. And she actually sings, her voice is much stronger and much, you know, it's very, she has a really, really beautiful voice. But the thing that kind of got me, I was supposed to be in that play too. And I think, you know, it was unfortunate that I didn't make the rehearsal. I didn't make it to any of it. I didn't make it to the rehearsal. I didn't make it to the audition. I didn't make it. And, you know, I think it was probably because God was protecting me, because when I didn't know anything about the play script, I didn't know anything about the script itself. And so it was just a blessing that I didn't make the audition. You know, I was scheduled for the audition. They were all game for it. I mean, but for some strange reason, I couldn't make it, and I couldn't make it up either. And I think that was God's way of protecting me, because had I made it, then, that wouldn't have really been good, because the script was very racist. That was one of the most fucking racist scripts that I've ever seen in my life. As a local girl who grew up in Hawaii, who is Hawaiian, mixed plate, I found it to be so racist. It was one of the most fucking racist shit that ever came out of Hawaii. And if my face didn't drop when the two girls who represented Hawaiians came out, and the whole script itself was kind of like, so it's local Hawaii based, right? But the author or the creator of the play, she made Hawaiian girls look fat, look uneducated, and look raggedy. Like, we don't brush our hair, like we don't know how to talk, like we're very dominant over men. Well, the thing about it is this: Hawaiian girls, yeah, we are kind of, but we're not ugly. Miss Hawaii, who became Miss Universe, was Hawaiian. Trini Kapuiki is Hawaiian. Kapuiki is a Hawaiian last name. Matter of fact, I know the family. Brooke Lee, Hawaiian. Graduated from Kamehameha. And they're not ugly. But the author of this play, she portrayed Hawaiian females as uneducated, fat, ugly, and masculine, overly masculine. And I'm looking at that. I'm also Asian too, you know. Like I said, I'm a mixed plate. I'm looking at that, and I'm like, as a social science major, especially with dominantly in psychology and sociology, I'm looking at that and I'm like, wow, the social perspective in her mind is screaming she hates Hawaiians. She fucking hates Hawaiians. So the two Hawaiian girls were Ete and Tita, or Tita. So Etelani and Tita. So the thing about Ete is a slang word for a Hawaiian chick, or not even Hawaiian chick, you know, just a slang word for, most often it's for a Hawaiian female, okay, when she gets to that point where like she just doesn't care. And Tita, or Tita, the actual way you say it, Tita, not Tita, but Tita, that's how you pronounce it correctly. We also say Tita. Titalani means sister in Hawaiian. So Tita Lani, Tita, we usually say T or Tita, hey T or hey Tita. That's like saying hey sister, like endearing. And that's how we call each other. We call each other Tita when we feel close to one another. We'll call them either what, T, hey T, or hey Tita, you know, not Tita. Tita is a very negative way of saying that word. It's inappropriate in a sense, but we use that as a, what's that? It's like when they're, I don't know how to explain it. When they're annoyed, when a Hawaiian girl is annoyed and she starts barking at people, then we're like, whoa, Tita, you're not Tita, you're not T either, you're Tita. But Tita, it's spelled T-I-T-A, Tita, is sister in Hawaiian. And she made both Ete Lani and Tita Lani, or Titarella or Eterella. I don't know what. All I remember is Ete and Tita, or Tita. She made them look ugly. She made them have their makeup was overly makeup. Had so much fucking makeup. They didn't even look Hawaiian, because Hawaiian girls don't use that much fucking makeup. Hawaiian girls look like me. I'm very, pretty much, you know, natural. Not all. Some of them like using plain makeup, but Tita and Etelani was just, they did not portray Hawaiian females at all. That looks more like another type of female. Their hair was all, you know, crazy. They had, I guess that's supposed to be a Hawaiian dress, and their bras sticking out. And they just look really unpresentable, you know? If you know, okay, just think about Mary Monarch, okay? Now, not Mary Monarch today, but Mary Monarch 10 years ago. That would be the full portrayal of a local Hawaiian girl. Because most of us, we dance tula. Why? Because that's our culture. So, you know, both Kahiko and Awana. Kahiko is the older style of dancing, and then you have Awana, which is the more newer, modern way of dancing. That's a more accurate portrayal of Hawaiian females. Now we have so many different people, you know, dancing hula that you can't tell who's Hawaiian and who's not. And the majority of them are Asian. So it's like you think this person is freaking Hawaiian when they're not. You know? I mean, I ain't got no problem with anyone learning the Hawaiian culture, but I do have a problem with someone degrading my culture. You know, just like how I say I'm Israel High, don't fuck around with my Jewish community, because, you know, my great grandmother was Jewish, you know. And aside from that, I got to learn, you know, the culture, and I don't see why I don't see them as bad, you know, so good. And now we have someone poking fun at my Hawaiian culture. And it's like, first of all, Hawaiian is actually one of my first languages. Yes, I speak Hawaiian fluently. I was raised Hawaiian. My dad was Hawaiian, dominantly Hawaiian. He was a dominantly Hawaiian, Irish, and now I realize he's Jewish too. Man. And so I spoke Hawaiian at home. We spoke Hawaiian at home. My dad's Olala Hawaii, Makahale, you know. I was a Hawaiian language teacher. I was a Hawaiian language culture teacher. I was a Hawaiian language immersion teacher. I was a Hawaiian language ensemble teacher, which meant singing. And Hawaiian studies, Hawaiian history, Hawaiian everything. The sports I grew up with was canoe paddling, swimming. I tried to fake at school during PE when they told me to swim. I told them I couldn't. Just to get out of it. Because it was so stupid. we had a pool on our campus, and right behind our campus was the freaking ocean. Take us to the fucking beach. We're swimming in a stupid ass pool. Or at least make the pool a fucking saltwater pool. So I would tell them, because I didn't want to change. I didn't want to get wet, and I didn't want to change into my my regular attire, because that's a freaking hassle. You know, you jump into chlorine water, you smell stinky and chlorine like, and then you gotta take a shower and then go to class. So just to avoid all that shit, I just told the teacher I can't swim. I don't know how to swim. I learned when I was a little girl. My dad did it like how he like how every Hawaiian child would learn. He threw us in the ocean. He took us at the end of the pier. The water was deep. He flew us in the ocean. That's how we learned how to swim. I don't know why she bought it. She was Hawaiian too. But surfing, those are all the sports I grew up. I grew up a local Hawaiian girl. My mom was Asian, so of course I have my Asian side too. But watching someone degrade my culture that I am very connected to, I rarely ever get this way, but I was like fucking offended. I went, wow, so you portray your culture like a freaking emperor and a princess, and then when it came to the culture that you're using as a fucking stepping stone, bitch, you make us look freaking ugly. Like, she's using Hawaii as a stepping stone to get for her success. You know, she's using Hawaii as a stepping stone for her success. She degrades Hawaiian girls and even the Hawaiian guy. There was a Hawaiian guy that plays in her play. His name is Nohea. Nohea is a girl's name. So she gives the male a female name. Dominantly, okay, I guess you can say men can have that name. But often it's for a female. Nohea is a female's name. And you know what, Nohea, the joke behind Nohea, the name Nohea that she gave to the Hawaiian guy, was no hair. That's the joke behind that name. Nohea. Nohea, you know, and Nohea, it has a beautiful meaning, but how many people understand Hawaiian? So we have a guy named Nohea. We have two girls, a guy that portrays a Hawaiian male, Nohea, which is a girl's name. And then you have Etelani and Tiralani. And Tita is a word of endearment to our females. Even guys use it. Hawaiian guys, they call, you know, whatever girl that they're close to, Tita. That's sister. And I'm not talking about close to as in, oh, we're friends with benefits. It's like he hanai'd her, or kind of like adopted her as his little sister, or as his older sister, or as a sister, someone who's close to him. Not close with benefits. Never have that back then. Hawaiian style, no more that. No more such thing. If you call someone Tita, that's like your sister. So you treat them as a sister. And nobody goes, well, here, not supposed to have any of the ancestral shit. They don't do that. So if you call that person Tita, then that's your sister. If that's your sister, you treat her like a sister. You will protect her like a sister. You will talk to her like a sister. You beef with her like a sister. The thing about that is, yes, Hawaiian females can be kind of dominant because we have brothers. Brothers like to fight with us. We fight with them back. We have other guys that adopt us as titas too, and we fight with them too. You know, Hawaiian is not for the weak. To be a Hawaiian and to be part of the Hawaiian culture is not for the weak. You gotta be strong. Either that or they're gonna always bully you. And the guys do that intentionally so you wouldn't get bullied. My brother and I used to beef all the time. Freaking guy used to call me his brother. But I never acted like a male. I mean, I wasn't tomboy. I would play, you know, the sports with them, like tackle football and shit like that. But I had super long ass hair. My hair was never short. I always had long hair. They dare not touch my hair I would put it up in a ponytail, or I would put it in a bun or a braid, and they wouldn't touch my hair. The reason why they wouldn't touch my hair and pull my hair like most people would if they were playing tackle sports is because our guys had a level of respect for females. And our females, we get nuts ass crazy if you do stupid stuff to us. So, and then you have to deal with our brothers, Not all the time we call them, only when something is seriously wrong. But other than that, we're built and we're raised to do shit on our own and to take care of ourselves if we need to. But if we do have to call somebody and somebody's going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? But sitting through that whole freaking theater piece, it was so uncomfortable because I was like, you're degrading my culture, and you're using my culture as a stepping stone for your success. You're making your culture look like it is high and mighty. Why is he the emperor of the fucking forest when that's a forest in Hawaii? Why are you using endearing names to my culture as these two girls who is not, that's not the portrayal of Hawaiian girls. Hawaiian girls are beautiful. We take care of ourselves when we're feeling, we learn to take care of ourselves. We are taught to take care of ourselves. I mean, let's X out any trauma that anyone goes through. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point, I did not, because we almost got kidnapped. I was going through some trauma. I was like, people were getting worried about me. I was like, no, it's not here. It's the fact that if I lose weight, if I start making myself look like, what if this person tries to kidnap me again? And I don't know who this person is. So it's not like one of those situations where you have to worry about my mental health. It's the fact that I'm trying to, I don't know who that person was that tried to kidnap us. All I know is that we were a target and I'm trying to prevent it. So to me, I felt that whole freaking story was racist. I mean, even they had Snow White in the story, and there was a comment that was made to Snow White, and that was fucking racist as shit. Oh, my name is Snow White. Oh yeah, we know you're Snow White. Yeah, we know you're white. And I was like, ooh, oh, it's bad enough that you make Hawaiians look stupid, but you also racist towards the Caucasian. Like, do you not like? My rating for that play, so to stay out of the legalities, it's a local play. I'm not going to say the name because I kind of trashed the play. It's a local play. It has local notes. It sounds like a local Hawaii play, but the storyline of the play 100% kind of shits on Hawaiians, elevates her own ethnicity, and there's a lot of racism in it. To me, I think it was saturated with racism. The actors, awesome. The actors were fucking talented. I would go the reason why I stayed, because once I seen that Tiralani and Etirella, or whatever the fuck her name was, I was gonna stand up and walk out. Because I was like, wait, this is when local Hawaii play, and this is how she portrays Hawaiians, and she's using Hawaii as a stepping stone for her success, but yet she shits on Hawaiians and tries to make us look ugly, and tries to make us look uneducated, and tries to make our men look feminine. Our men are handsome. Local Hawaiian men, they're handsome. Hawaiian females, they're pretty. We have our extra masculine ones too, but even them, you know, if you look at them with hair, like long hair, then you'll see that she's actually really beautiful. And the heart that we have is probably one of the reasons why people love to rape our culture. The heart that we have as Hawaiians is probably one of the reasons why people like to rape our culture. They take aloha and try to copyright aloha, poke. I like the fact that people like poke. But I can say this much. A good 75% of the poke bowls that you guys eat that's not from Hawaii ain't Hawaiian. It's a totally different... You should just call it a salad with fish. You should call it a salad with fish. And so it's like... I see a connection between my Hawaiian culture and my Jewish culture. Both cultures are beautiful, but they tend to get shitted on for being beautiful. You know, the cultures get raped by other people's cultures or other people's greediness. Not doesn't even have to be another culture. It has to be by someone else who's fucking greedy. And they, you know, they either downplay them or they will downgrade them. You know, nobody can say that Jewish people, the Jewish community, has never contributed to the world in a positive way. Always, constantly. If there's anything that I do know about my Jewish community, it's the fact that they're always pouring goodness back into the world, and they make it a priority. As far as Hawaiian culture, they're always give so much of the culture that now it's raped. Now it's being adopted and taken, and people are saying that's their culture. And it's like, no, it's not. It originally came from Hawaii. It originally came from Hawaiians. It originally came from Hawaii. Now we have somebody, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there was a controversy in regards to that theater play. There was a controversy with that play in the Hawaiian community. At that time, you know, I kind of stepped out. I think I was, I stepped out of just everything, everything culturally. And I was kind of like focusing on something else. But I do remember and I do recall that play coming up as an issue to the Hawaiian community. And I remember them saying something about that is a false portrayal of Hawaii. And now I actually get to see it. It's an old play. I think several years old. But I got to see it myself. And I seen exactly what they were talking about. You know, I didn't have to know what they were talking about and what scenes. But as I am watching it, I am like, you're degrading my culture, which is not ugly. We're not stupid. We're not ugly. We're not fat. Most local girls are not fat. Well, maybe no. But most local girls that I grew up with, most local Hawaiians, well, my family anyway, there was an emphasis on staying in shape. Why? Because we had fathers that were always in shape. Our fathers are fucking tap. So we always stayed in shape. Our dads made it a priority to stay healthy. Now you're talking about females that would give birth and we take our kid and put our kid inside the stroller and run so that we get back to the shape that we were. We work out, whether it be lifting, whether it be sports, canoe paddling, kayaking, diving, everything and above. Just perpetuating our actual culture. And we have this lady who makes a fucking screenwrite and fucking tries to degrade our culture and our females and our males, demasculating our males with a feminine name, over-masculating our women with a false portrayal of who they are. Like I said, Trini Kapuiku is Miss Universe. She is Miss Hawaii. She's Hawaiian. Kapuiki is Hawaiian. Brooke Lee, Hawaiian. And I can go on. Jason Momoa, Hawaiian. Rada's Hawaiian. Matter of fact, Jason, we actually know each other. Kelly went with my sister. That was me in the back of the truck with you guys. That was me. We went to school together. That was me. Yes, that was me. I remember you. Only had me, you, and what is that? Keone and their little brother. We were all in the back of the truck going to school together. We all went to school together. It's just annoying how racist that fucking play was. But the songs, awesome. The compositions that they use, the choreography, their talent. Oh my god, the actors, the actresses, and the actors, freaking talented. The mongoose, the girls, they're female mongoose, and they were so talented. And then there was this mean mongoose, and he was so talented. Like the actors, some of the characters were perfect. If she didn't add those racist notes to the play, then it would be a perfect portrayal of Hawaii. Like, instead of making but then, you know, they had to find, you know, an evil character. It's just unfortunate that she made Hawaiians, you know, Hawaiian females and look like the bad characters, you know, because that's not, it's inaccurate. It's an inaccurate portrayal of Hawaiian females and an inaccurate portrayal of a Hawaiian male. Like, he was cute. The guy that played Nohel, he's actually Hawaiian. Perfect. 6 feet tall, maybe 6'1", and kind of built. If he worked out just a little bit more, it would be perfect. But the name Nohel, how come not Ikaika? Ikaika is one of the most common names. Why not Keone? Keone is one of the most common names. Why did she use Nohel, like Mahea? Mahea is a female name. Nohel is a counter, is a pair to Nohel. Mahea, Nohel. Nohel is a fucking joke name. But there's hardly any Nohels that are males. You know, you have Ikaika, you have Keone, you have you have Koa, you have Keli'i. You have all these male dominant names that are fitting for a Hawaiian male, but yet she uses fucking Nohel? Nohel? Who uses Nohel for a boy's name? Like, maybe there's one person out there who's Nohel, I don't know, but dominantly, that's not a male's name. That's a female's name. So, I mean, I have my little issues. I have my issues with that. And I have my issues with that play. And then, if that wasn't enough, like, my weekend was just freaking crazy. Saturday was crazy because the Saturday was the day that I went to watch the play. Sunday was fucking crazy. I had somebody knocking on my fucking door and he's calling my name, and I'm thinking, I'm inside in my home, and I'm like, I hear a knock. And I thought that was my neighbor, because my neighbor, she always comes. She's always so nice. Like, my neighbor, she comes, she knocks on the door, and she's like always bringing stuff to me. And then I would do the same. You know, I'd make her something and I'd bring it to her. But dude's knocking at my door, and he said my name, and I'm like, this is, can anybody come around like 7, 8 o'clock? That does not happen. And it's a guy. And the only guy that I knows where I live was the guy I just dated. So I call him up. And I'm like, because no guys come over to my place. My place is sacred. I mean, so I call the guy that I just dated, you know, the guy that I broke up with, and I'm calling him. So he answers, and I'm like, is that you outside of my door? And I was, in my heart, I was thinking, please don't let that be you, because I don't need a crazy ex. I don't need one more crazy ex. So he's like, no, that's not me. And I'm like, who the freaking hell is this? There's somebody out there. I don't invite guys over my place. I don't know who this freaking person is. And he's like, that's not me. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, thank you. Click, hang up. I look out my people. I can't see shit. It's foggy. My people is freaking foggy, so I can't see anything. I can't see a face. I can only see a silhouette. And I'm like, a silhouette. I can't make out his face. Usually my peephole is clear and I can see outside, but for some strange reason, I cannot. And I'm definitely not opening my door. So, so dude calls and he's knocking on my door, and I'm like, what do I do in this case? So I'm like, ignore it. Eventually dude will go away. I'm like, fuck it. Then he knocks again, and I'm like, who are you? You know, because the reason why I'm sharing this is so that, you know, females be aware, because there was a guy on KHNL News, and I think they were looking for him still. And I think the guy that was knocking outside on the door fit the description of this guy. So this guy, he went around knocking on people's doors, females especially, and they would open the door. They would open the door, and he forced his way into their home. And of course, just use your imagination. What the hell would a guy do to a female inside a house, you know? And so, like, I immediately, for some strange reason, it came to mind, and I remembered how the guy looked like on KHNL News. And I was looking out the people, and I was like, I can't make out his face. I don't know who this person is. The people is kind of blurry, and usually it's clear, and I can make out the person's face, and I can see it very clearly. But tonight I can't, because it's foggy. And so it kind of fit the description of that guy that was on KHNL. And so I'm not going to open the door. I don't care what any of you guys do. I ain't gonna fucking open the door. It's not that I'm not afraid. I'm afraid. There is always a slight fear factor in there, because if you don't feel a slightly anxiety or some sort of way, then something wrong with you mentally. You know what I'm saying? But I looked out and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna let this guy in. There's no fucking way I'm gonna be stupid and let this person in. So I yell out of my window, bruh, who are you? Shit goes silent. Silence. Silence. That's how I kind of knew that this guy is just knocking on people's doors so that they open. Knocking on people's doors so they open and he can force his way in there. But I'll tell you what, bro, if you force your way in here, you're not coming out. You're not gonna walk out. You ain't gonna walk out alive. Should stay away from my home. But so this is a good thing. This is the thing that I appreciate about the guy that I recently dated, is that although things went bad, didn't go really bad, but he was he showed a certain level of concern and was very supportive that night. You know, he could have been like, fuck it, it's not my problem. You're not my problem. But, you know, that I appreciated, that he actually followed up and he was like, is everything good and stuff, you know. So that I appreciated. I think that's something that we both probably needed, some kind of closure. So he's not as bad as I thought. But the whole scenario, at some point I had to actually go out of my place, and I was like, you know what, I took X amount of combative training since I was a little girl. I have I'm not stupid when it comes to these things. I actually have a certification, college certification for crime prevention and and securing perimeters. So this is not something new to me. But even if you have all those, if you have that credentials and you have those experiences, then, to be overly bold and to not take precautions is stupid. To not take precautions is stupid. I know most people, they have this ego trip where they're like, I'm gonna fuck that person up. But it's like, hey, you know what? Being a person who has a certification, college certifications for crime prevention and securing perimeters and shit like that, you learn that overconfidence is where most people fail. When you think you're actually bigger than the cause, always take precautions. Take precautions to be safe. Don't be an idiot and just open your freaking home up to danger. Take precautions. If somebody is out there knocking and you're a female, if you don't feel safe, then of course, you're not going to open the door. But the first thing that you should do is calling the community around you. Call the community around you, call the police. For me, it's because it was a male's voice, and because the only male that knows where I live was the last guy I dated. I'm not one of those girls that be inviting people over my place like crazy. I don't. That's why the first person that came to mind was the last guy I dated, because he came to pick me up. He didn't come inside because this is my safe zone. Your home is your safe zone, and whether you believe in energies or not, when you invite someone into your home, you invite all that they have to. Who's to say what they have spiritually? So I like to screen people before they come over to my home. Just because I don't have traffic at my home don't mean I don't know anybody. I ran for politics. If you ran for politics, you obviously have connections. If you run for politics, you obviously have a network. You obviously have a network. You obviously have connections. So it's not like I'm alone. But I value my privacy. I value my home. I don't like to bring people all over to my house all the time. And that's how I know something is wrong or not. That's how I can pinpoint who might that be. And that's why the first person I called was the guy that I last dated. It's because, he came to pick me up. He walked to my door to pick me up. Because if I'm going to date someone, he's going to do it the right way. It's not like I go around dating all types of people. I don't like dating. Ta-da! That's why I'm single. I just felt like giving it a chance. Boredom got me. So, the first thing you should do is contact the community members around you. Man, I was calling up my neighbors and shit. I don't know who this guy is. You think I'm gonna open the fucking door for him? You wrong. I ain't gonna open the door for you. I don't know who the fuck you are. And that's the thing too. Like when I would go canvassing, when I was in politics, and I would go canvassing not just for myself but for friends, I was amazed at how many people would just open their fucking door. They don't know who's out there. They don't even look into people. You can tell when somebody's looking into people. Some of them don't have a people. They just open the fucking door. And it's like, bro, if you don't have a people, have a fucking ring, like a camera. So there is someone walking around trying to knock on people's doors, calling their name if they think that's them. If they know your name and you don't know who that is, do not open the fucking door. Whether you're a male, whether you're a female. Because you don't know. There might be one person standing in front of you and 3 other people on the side. It might be a home intrusion. You never know. Hawaii is changing. Hawaii is different. Hawaii is not the same. Back then, Hawaii, when I was growing up, Hawaii, you don't do that. The whole neighborhood can come against you. The whole neighborhood is watching out for each other. today it's like every man for themselves. But if somebody comes knocking at your door and you don't know who that is, do not open it, whether you're a male or a female. Don't open the door. There's someone who's going around doing that. And I hope he got caught. So, yeah, I had to call HPD and all that, get a report number. And, you know, it's just unfortunate that shit like this happened. And then, of course, I have to do all the things, the steps I need to do to make my home safe, make my environment safe. Of course, let the rest of the neighbors know what happened so that they too will be safe. That if somebody comes knocking at their door, they're not going to just open it up for someone. If they don't know who it is, then just keep the door closed and just call HPD. Call HPD. Man, my freaking weekend was crazy. It was just so crazy. I needed to go to the gym and work some of this frustration off. And that's exactly what I did today. But anyways, I hope your guys' weekend was better than what I just shared. And remember, if you hear a knock at your door, you don't know who that person is, you don't have a people, tell them. If they don't call you, then you don't know them. Or ask them, who are you? You know? Make sure they tell you who they are. Just don't open that door. I'm curious to know who that is now. I'm still debating whether I should ask some of my male cousins to come over. Some of my male cousins to come over and just, you know, hang out. But be safe out there, everyone. Yep. Be safe. We got some crazies happening. Crazy people around. Hawaii is not the same. Hawaii is not the same. So with that, love, peace, and aloha. Check you guys later.